You might not recognise this badge on the front of this vehicle, but it's a brand new badge for the Mahindra brand. Mahindra you might be familiar with for its pickup, which has been here for quite some time, and its XUV 500 SUV. This is the all-new Mahindra Scorpio wagon. It's a mid-size 4x4 wagon, much the same way as the Isuzu MU-X, Mitsubishi Pajero Sport, SsangYong Rexton, even the Ford Everest, Toyota Fortuner and Toyota Prado. So it's in that mid-size range, family wagons. 3-row seating with seating for 6, with 2 captain's chairs in the second row, which makes for plenty of space for those people in that row. Mahindra does say it's working on a 7-seat version to come down the track. Now it's a little bit smaller than most of those cars. It's more in comparison to the MU-X or the Toyota Fortuner in terms of size. Pretty similar to the Pajero Sport too. Certainly not as big as an Everest or a Prado. But inside there's plenty of space for driver and passenger, and second row's plenty of space, while the third row is best suited to the little kids. Driving this car is a new version of Mahindra's M-Hawk 2.2 litre turbo diesel engine. The new version being it's an all aluminium block and cylinder head now, with revised fuel injection running higher pressure and a new turbocharger. Now it makes 129 kilowatts of power and 400 newton metres of torque. Still very modest in terms of these sort of engines. Some of the cars in this class are making 500 newton metres these days, but it's once again competing with the MU-X and the Pajero Sport and cars at that end of the deal. The big ticker for this is its price. Comes in 2 spec grades, being the Z8 at $41,990 drive away. That's a special introductory price which lasts until June. And then there's the Z8L, which is a luxury version, adds some features like wireless CarPlay and phone charging, a Sony sound system with 12 speakers, front view camera, and some other little luxury bits and pieces. And that comes in at $44,990 drive away. As I say, those prices are only running until June, so get in quick and have a look. Mahindra says they've got plenty of stock in all their dealers from straight away, so it's one of the few cars at the moment. If you want one now, you can get it within weeks. Driving the new Scorpio around up here in Queensland, it's been really pleasant and really surprising. The engine, although modest in power, gets along really well, perfectly mated to its new Ace and 6-speed transmission. People in the game know that that transmission has been used in Toyotas and Isuzus and other SUVs that do it really quite well, and it works just as well in this car. Perfectly mated, as I say. It's a part-time 4-wheel drive system with an auto-locking rear differential, low range and high range in the transfer case, and a 4-mode driving system that Mahindra calls 4Explore, so it's got driving for sand mode, mud and ruts, snow in a normal setting. They all work pretty well and they're getting around the challenging tracks here. One thing you really notice is that the traction control is a bit slow to act sometimes, but then that rear locker kicks in and just launches you over the obstacle. Both grades of car have leatherette trim interior, which is a nice coffee colour, stands out really well presented. The screen's a 9-inch unit, looks pretty good in there. Nice touch screen for all your Apple CarPlay and things like that. Dual zone climate control, vents to the centre row seat, but not to the rear row seat. Also, there's safety airbags down the sides, don't go as far as the 3rd row seat either. This car is missing out on a few safety features in reality. It doesn't have autonomous emergency braking, any lane keeping assist, radar cruise control, things like that which aren't integrated into the car. Once again, Mahindra says that's coming with a midlife upgrade, so that's down the track a little bit. But you're getting what you pay for here. This thing is great value for money. When you compare it against some of those competitors I was talking about, it's better equipped than all the base model versions of those cars, ones with cloth trim and small wheels, stuff like that. The Z8 has got all those features like the leatherette trim, 18-inch alloys, Apple CarPlay, right from the base spec Z8 and also into the Z8L. It's going to be really interesting to get this car out on some more familiar tracks down in Victoria and in the high country. I know the guys from Mahindra have been testing it all over the high country, out in the desert. They say they've done more than 150,000 Ks of testing here in Australia with the car. So it's pretty well proven, and what we've had on a brief drive up here has been very interesting. So we're keen to get it back home and do some more miles in it.